Assalamu alaikum, it's your host, Ilyas again, and we've got the Stani Army Verdict. And today we're going to be reviewing the first ODI between Pakistan and South Africa and Pakistan. So the series started today, and what a game at the end! What a game! But before we get to what actually happened at the stage, I've got two guests here. Both of them, you can see from the hair today. One had full hair this morning, and one perfectly good hair this morning. So, Umar, how you doing?
Walaikum salam. I would say I'm okay, but I'm not.
And Doc, how you doing?
This dialogue might come. You might have heard this before. When's it gonna end in me? When's it gonna end?
I don't know. I'm 38, and it's never got easier. Doc, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right, thank you. It's been a long day. As you know, so I just caught up with the game now. I literally just watched it on the Sky Plus, and we made that a lot harder than we needed it to be. Obviously delighted that we won, but my God, they give us some palpitations on the way, don't they?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, right, I'm gonna just explain the start of that game. Yeah, Hasnain and so Shaheen bowling. I mean,
First power play.
What was happening
Everything's
there?
going swimmingly. I'm thinking. I don't want this to end by 4 o'clock. What I'm going to do the rest of my day? This is too easy. I need something to chase. And then lo and behold, Van der Dussen and Miller with upon 100 odd, and Van der Dussen went for 50. Miller went for 50. Van der Dussen goes 100. I think what mistake we made at the end was Shadab was actually bowling well to Quayle, and he had him under the wraps. I think 2 overs went for like 4 or 5. Took him off, bought on the paces, and he just went after the paces. We took the foot off the pedal, and 274 they got.
I mean, just before that, basically Shaheen and Hasnain were bowling well. Fahim come on as well, and Doc, we had him like 4 for 55, and that almost said, yeah. Even I was thinking, well, you know what, it's gonna be like nice easy game after this, and just typical Pakistan in it. We sort of just let it drift around.
Yeah, we did. I wasn't that. Obviously, the top was brilliant. The way that we started, probably against. If you think about De Kock and Markram, Bavuma, probably 3 of their better players. And Miller always seems to do quite well against us, but certainly 3 of their better players. We've got them out. We've got them 50 odd for 4, as you said. And my thoughts went back to that pink ODI, wasn't it? Back on the last tour, I think did we bowl them out for 160, 170. It might have been at the Wanderers. And I thought, well, yeah, we get one more wicket and we're properly into them. And then, as you say, it kind of started to drift. I thought Haris Rauf was not great today. I thought he was responsible for a little bit of that pressure being kind of released on South Africa. Shadab didn't start well, in my opinion anyway. He looked like someone who hadn't played a lot of cricket recently. So yes, and obviously Miller's a good player. Van der Dussen's a good player. We saw that in the tour of Pakistan as well. So yeah, sometimes you've got to give the opposition credit as well. They played really well to get themselves up to what wasn't. I don't think that was an above par total. Not these days in ODI cricket anyway.
Omar, we just mentioned Shadab there, and with Shadab, what I found today was he bowled 3-4 very good deliveries every over, and then there comes a full toss or a long hop. And then that just released the pressure. Every kept happening. But as he got into the rhythm towards the back end, it sort of started improving a little bit.
Yeah, at the start he was just like all over the place, and it didn't help that Rolf at the other end was just bowling pies as well. He was the same. He would bowl 3 good deliveries, then 1 down the leg side, a wide, and then he would go for 4. Then I did think Shadab should have bowled his quota, but they gave Rolf the last few overs because he had fella Quayle under the wraps. He couldn't get him away, and then fella Quayle wants pace on the ball. He brought pace on the ball, and then he managed to score. Was it 35? Did he score 36? And then obviously
Yeah,
35, I think it was.
29.
There it is.
29.
It's up there now. 29 of 35. Just a quick thing. Shoaib Bhatt Islam, Shoaib Bhatt, Reckless Pakistan, how are you? Boy, do we miss him. And Omar Mirza, Van der Duce is a brilliant player, averages 80 plus now. What he averages is like, if you take his scores away against Pakistan, I think it does come down quite. Hardest Rauf, he was expensive, he's very reckless, and I think there was a release of pressure. And I don't know Omar if because I know Doc hasn't seen any of the messages in the group. He's just tweeting as well. Like there's about 1,100 messages on the WhatsApp group right now. But I remember saying at the start of the game that I was a bit unsure about 5 bowlers just playing, and I thought 30 overs between Shadab, Fahim, and Haris Rauf were far too much between them. Haris Rauf, he's surely, if Hassan's fit now, Hassan's got to come back in, and Rauf goes out.
Well, that would be the logical thing to do, but we don't do anything logical around here. Pakistanis, we should know this point. Well, Fahim bowled well in the end, didn't he? He got a wicket. Was it 1 for 34 or something like that? So I think that meant, but with Haris Rauf, he's like a round trees, isn't it? You don't know what's going to come next. It's either going to be a Yorker or something over the head high, or it's just, do we stick with him? Do we take him out? Do we put Hassan in, tried and tested? Obviously, the easiest. Go on, Doc.
I was going to say, I was going to follow on from your point, because obviously you were on the show the other day when we did our kind of, our lineup for the first game. And I think pretty much all of us had, we all had Hassan Ali in the team ahead of Haris Rauf. Now, I have to say, I missed the very top of the program. Did Hassan not play because of an injury today, or was that?
He has had COVID, so I don't know if he's still recovering
I think
from that.
It was COVID. I thought they did the fitness level was just one. The fatigue was still there, and they wanted to just give him a couple of days rest.
Because I think that would be the logical thing, as you said. The logical thing is to get Hassan in probably ahead of Haris Rauf. I think a lot of people are. If you think back to some of our shows we did on the Test team as well, a lot of people worry about Haris Rauf in Test cricket because I think he might just be a kind of four over bowler only. And obviously today it extends to 10 overs, and you saw, like you said, it was a bit kind of, you never know what's coming next. I was just going to say, there was a comment from Omar Mirza about he thinks Fahim bowled really well. So just put yourself in South Africa's shoes. As a South African fan, do you not think you're watching Fahim bowl and you're saying to your players, just go after him? Like, I'm delighted as a Pakistan fan that he gets 2 for 25 today. But their approach against him was a little bit kind of curious. Like he was kind of bowling these bombs at them. It wasn't. I didn't get that.
It's Rana Fahim, King Fahim, anything that comes from there. You don't know what's going to happen. So you just have to be cautious against King Fahim. But I think...
That's the thing though, isn't it? I think Doc's got a point there, yeah. They were a bit just against Fahim.
But normally
actually missed his wicket as well.
It's normally us doing
that 1 hour where I got busy. That's when Fahim got the wicket.
Yeah, I think he took a good catch as well. So, for Markram.
Yes. He did a very good catch.
I think you're right. So that was right about... Go on, please.
Yeah, go on.
I was just going to say, Omar, you're right. Imi, I think you might have been a bit of a delay, but I'll let you carry on, man. Go on. Sorry, carry on.
No, just saying that whoever's saying something, carry on. But yeah, Hassan didn't play as they wanted to give him more time to recover. They were giving some post-COVID recovery. That's another person. Hassan never played. So we've got this thing. First few dart bowlers is enough with it. I think in modern, I know you need a lot of runs, but have become quite a necessity.
Yeah, I agree. And I was, yeah, when I looked at the team, I thought, hold on a second, if one of the bowlers goes for, isn't playing well or goes for a few runs, we're going to struggle for a sixth bowler. And we did, and you kind of saw that in the middle overs. So again, go back to the show we did the other day. The other team that I think I probably would have had Nawaz in the team, and I just would have flipped a few things around. I know I mentioned Imam maybe not playing as well. So there's a few things I would have changed, but I would have wanted. Obviously, when you've got three seamers and Fahim, that's four seam bowling options. So I would have had Nawaz or Usman Khadir in the team if you really want, but I'd probably leave Nawaz ahead of Usman just to strengthen that batting a little bit.
Harisal wasn't in the squad. I think it was Sol Shakil, and I think Shakil would have played today. And ideal game for someone like him, just a finisher to finish the game. That never happened. There's another one here. We got Klassen's wicket after Klassen today. It's knocking him a little bit. Someone else, Mohammad Shadab needs about a 5. And bowler's a part-time bowler. Get rid of Asif Ali. I'm going to have a theory on this. Yeah, go on, Doc.
I was just going to say, I mean, we mentioned about Shadab starting and the way he started with his bowling. He looked pretty rusty. I mean, his batting wasn't up to much at the start either. I would worry with Shadab at 5. To be honest, I think I'd probably leave him. Where did he come in today? Was he 7 today? I think
7
after Asif.
I'd probably leave him there, and I'd have Heather Ali, like Usman here says in the comments. That we all want our players to do well, but was anyone surprised today when Asif Ali got out cheaply? I'm sorry to say, but I wasn't.
No, I would have been surprised if it's. And who saw them 2 or 3 deliveries, but that Shamsi bowled with him? It was just like,
yeah, he was all over the
place.
place.
74 now. My dad's 74. Yeah, he's watched cricket all his life, but I mean, he seems to forget things now. Yeah, even he went, "Hey, leg spin nahi khel sakta." He knew straight away this guy can't play spin. It's just like
he can't play anything. Never mind spin.
No, that's a different case. But I mean, fast bowling is still like gets a few sometimes. I just don't get the logic. Personally, I don't know if you guys would agree or not, but I would go with the 5 batsmen: Nawaz, Fahim, and Shadab in any order that you want. I think that gives you enough for that batting to go up to number 8 and get your 3 bowlers, your 3 fast bowlers, and I think that just gives you 6 specialist bowlers. I mean, especially if you're going to play Asif Ali, I think Nawaz probably gives you more in the team than Asif Ali does. The bat and the ball, I think.
So, Imi, are you dropping Danish Aziz then? Would you not have? I'm taking he's not in your top 5 then.
Yes, he's not. I had there would be.
See, I was going to say if we're going to play,
it's harsh on Danish after 1 game. I mean, that'd be harsh. But yeah, we're going to get to that. We have got a comment here about Danish. Thoughts on Danish, possibly a bit nervous. We're going to get to that when we talk about the batting, which is literally now. The way Shadab got out to 6 when we need 3 or 6, that is a bit of naivety, but credit to him, yeah. Without him and that innings today, him and Rizwan actually pulled that. I think 9 times out of 10 in the last years, after that collapse, we would have definitely lost the game. That's that. Right. Let's go to our batting. So we not a great start because the man got out quite early. That's something I missed. I missed the first 10 overs of the Pakistan batting. So I'm not going to lie about what I haven't seen it. So because the man got out early, I got in. Babar was, and I look at Imam's score, and my first reaction to that was, what is he doing? I think he was on 60-32, was it? What's that?
Stop it, Doc. Stop it,
I
Doc.
was like,
Stop it.
first thing that came to my mind, I was like, head was what Doc said the other day. Power play.
This is a thing with Imam. All right. Now, look. Obviously, he is perfect for this kind of game. Again, there's never a personal thing, and obviously, you want all your players to do well. So for this kind of middling score, and 274 these days is maybe just above a middling score. He's absolutely fine. And actually, his 70, I think, got 70 off. He got 70 off 80, which is perfect for a 270 chase. But my worry is, in the next 2 years, we are going to have more difficult challenges. And we're going to get to a World Cup where the pass scores will probably be higher than this, and that's where a 70 off an 80 I don't think does you that good. But to be fair, he caught up today better than I expected, and actually, given where he was at the start, 70 off 80 even actually is pretty good for the start that he had. So yeah, fair play. It was a good innings for the circumstances today. I just don't think long term. Imam is the answer in modern ODI cricket when the power plays. I mean, I think we were 37 for 1 at the end of the power play, something like that. And that was because of 2 barbered boundaries, possibly in the 10th over. So I'm not sure Thucker and Imam is quite right. And obviously, we all want Thucker to succeed, but it was a pretty poor shot today. His feet were nowhere, and it was they mentioned kind of his back coming down at an angle. Yeah, not great.
Omar, it works 2 ways, doesn't it? He's 16 or 31 when I saw him, and for the next couple of overs, it didn't look any better. It goes one of 2 ways. That either he gets out right there, and he's absolutely bodged the whole chase up, or he bats long and recovers. But it's a very risky game to play, isn't it? Again, is that that's a worry, isn't it?
It is a risky game, but would you rather him play as he's playing, score that 70 off 80, or then have Sharjeel and Fakhr open, for argument's sake, and end up 10 for 2 every 3 out of 5 games? So for the chase, like Doc said, it was the right thing. But then another thing is, for a lot of the innings after about 40 odd, Barber and Imam were batting at the same strike rate, but Barber didn't seem to get bashed, and he ended up on 103 of 103. Okay, 100 strike rate, that's fine, but why wasn't nobody bashing Barber for batting slow?
The only reason why I think sometimes Imam maybe gets it is because as an opener, he obviously tends to have more of the power play. Now, I know obviously he also gets a newer ball, so let's not be naive. Obviously, the new white ball doesn't do a lot, but it does a little bit, especially in South African conditions or maybe out in New Zealand or something like that. Again, it goes back to how many power play balls Imam is going to kind of chew up. I don't think he catches up quite as well as Babad. I guess the only thing I would say is that if today was a 350 chase, I think Baba's got it in him to accelerate more than he did today. If today was a 350 chase, I think Imam still gets 70 off 80. And that's my slight problem, is that I don't think he's got the gears to go up if there was another 70, 80 to chase. But anyway, we kind of won't flog a dead horse with that one. I think he'll play in the next game, and that's fine by me, I guess.
No, but the thing is, then you've seen what happened when he did try, and I guess I'd say he's playing in 3rd gear. Then he tried to go in 5th gear, he got out, and then we saw what happened after that. So people will bash Imam even if he scores 70 off 80 in 85 strike or whatever. But then the guys coming underneath are doing bugger all anyway. So you'd rather him stick around, score that 100 off 120, 130 balls, and get us over the line, even if he is on the last ball. That's for me. And then if Fakhr's playing, and he's playing how he is playing, Barber is going back to the strike rate brigade business. Barber is coming in the 2nd, 3rd, let's say 5th over. So he's still having. Oh, we've lost maybe. He's still having a few overs less, but he's still playing in the power play. He's still playing with a new ball, and is still batting at a similar strike rate. Maybe he isn't as pleasing to watch as Barber is, so he gets less flack. I'm not bashing Barber. I think they both played according to the situation. Like you said, if it was 350, it's a different kettle of fish, isn't it? So
yeah, no, you're right. And I think look, there's pros and cons to both. And you're right, there are going to be times where we sit here and we are 8 for 2 because Fakhr and Sharjeel has just put one straight up in the air, and then we're going to say, oh, you need an anchor like Imam. You need someone there to the 30th over. I tell you what, I would say that, but we are 20 minutes into this show, and we haven't used enough adjectives yet to describe that Barber innings. My God, some of those shots.
It didn't seem real. Like, you know, when I was watching, because there was no crowd, I think it just didn't it didn't register. Even when he got his 100, I screamed and I didn't realize it was 4. I think it does take away a bit of the magic with there being no crowd. But even when I was watching it, like, he was just smashing Rabada and Nokia to all parts of the ground, and for some strange reason, it just wasn't registering that he did that to Stain, didn't he? In the last, and he just tore him to pieces. Did the same with Rabada today and Nokia. The only disappointing thing is it didn't go on. I think you can just tell I think that century it got him a bit too emotional, I think, and he just mistimed one.
Yeah, I know exactly, and then obviously, look, most of the hard work was done by then, and he's probably thinking, right, come on, you lot, you need like another 80 or 90 to win. Surely you can do it now. And we almost stuck it up. But some of those shots, I mean, there was the odd on drive, there was a flick through the leg side, cover drive. It was almost like a best of kind of compilation. And like you say, it deserved a full house. And they're decent fans out in South Africa. They usually appreciate kind of good cricket as well. So I would say that's one. I mean, obviously it's 100, so it's going to be one of his better innings. But I would say definitely one of his better innings that I've seen. He just looks so fluent from about 20 balls in.
Sorry, guys, I lost connection for a second, and any comments that have come in that time, I cannot retrieve them. So I've added the comments here, and people's comments will come on. I do apologize. I don't know what happened. Yeah, go on, guys. You were saying something because I don't know what you guys said.
I was just gonna say Babar's best innings was probably the one against New Zealand in the World Cup, and this is probably like a close second, if not joint top. It was just like we were saying. He started off a bit cautiously. He never looked in trouble, but then as he went on, it was just so fluent. It was like he had all the time in the world, and he just took the attack apart.
Yeah, he looked like the world-class batsman that we all know that he is. But obviously, we kind of want the rest of the world to see it as well. And I think actually, I was listening to an interview from one of the South African journalists, just a guy in the print media, and he was saying that, look, in South Africa, we appreciate that Babar Azam is one of the kind of the top 4 or 5 players in the world. And sometimes you worry as a Pakistan fan that we know it, but does that, because Pakistan isn't kind of, we're not one of the big 3. Does the rest of the world know it? And actually, listening to the commentary today as well, and when Babar comes in, it's just the commentators change as well. It's like they're saying, they are saying this is one of the great players. He's let's be honest, he's our Kohli. When Kohli gets out for India, there is a shockwaves through the batting order. You can see the opposition celebration as well when they get Kohli out. It's the same as when they get Babar out as well. I saw that in the Test series as well when they got Babar out cheaply a few times. The celebrations from the South African players, because they know that this is a massive player that we've got out, and also they know what it does for the rest of the batting lineup. Which we then saw. Has anyone got an explanation for what happened after Babar got out and the nonsense that followed?
Pakistan cricket.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what?
the only explanation. Because we were talking, I was after the game, I was thinking about it, and we were literally talking about this the other day, Doc. As soon as the pressure cranks up, some of these batsmen get found out so badly. That's why, this probably sounds crazy. I didn't actually enjoy that win. Like, watching it, I didn't even cheer at the end. I was just so peed off. It's like Rizwan, he's done all the hard work and then he lobs it up in the air. As great as he's been playing recently, Shadab does all the hard work and then tries to be a hero, lobs it up in the air. The less said about Asif Ali, the better. Danish, I don't know, it was just one of them 4 or 5 balls where he looked all at sea, but I won't write him off after one game. But I was mainly peed off more with Rizwan and Shadab than I was with Asif and Danish. Because I was expecting you of Asif, and Danish, you didn't really know what to expect, even though he's been playing well in domestic cricket. But Rizwan and Shadab, they did all the hard work and then more or less almost threw the game away. That's why I was annoyed at, and I was kind of thinking that we always talk about playing modern day cricket and then doing this and doing that. But then everyone goes, we want to be unpredictable Pakistan. We want to be this. Well, we don't. That's 9 times out of 10, we lose that game. And you don't want to be like that. Because I saw another stat. Apparently, this is the first 270 plus chase away from home in 10 years.
Wow.
Wow.
Last
Seriously?
one, yeah. It was that's the tweet I saw. 270. I think the last one was in Cardiff, 303.
Oh yeah, yeah. The end of that series that we lost 4-1.
4-1, yeah. I think that was the last one. And there was one of 2-7-4, something like that in Sri Lanka a couple of years ago. So, that's going off there, like being that unpredictable and all that.
Sorry.
Just,
You know why I said seriously so loudly? Because I thought, yeah, that you guys could not see me in the stream because my network was like playing up. So I've been thinking for the last 5 minutes, yeah, I'm not even on the stream. So I thought, let me
no,
test
you're
it.
still
Okay,
here.
seriously? Yeah, no.
You're there, you're there.
I mean, Adam's asking because if I can read that right, will you be doing watch alongs in the future games? We're doing the T20s, aren't we? It
Yeah.
was a last minute decision that we couldn't do the ODIs because of work, manpower, etc., etc. I was busy myself today, so I was watching the game here and there. I couldn't devote 8 hours of just sitting on the computer. So that was the reasons why we didn't do it. So guys, where we just discussing that chase, at one stage we were 186 for 1,
And 211 for 5.
203 for 5.
Okay.
I mean, like, it was just like it's going, but Nokia actually was bowling well, wasn't he? It's a very good spell. I think his first 5 went for 31, and his next 5 was 4 for 21. I think he went or 4 for 20. Sorry, a wonderful spell from. Yeah, he was aided by some really bad shots. But my question to Doc is here, as well as Shadab played and everything. Yeah, I'm of the opinion with that one we weren't going over the line. I think he just calmed the whole thing down, just slowed it down and said, well, 1 minute, the next couple of overs we're not losing a wicket, and we'll deal with it later.
Yeah, he can do. I mean, look, at the moment, Rizwan, thank God, he can pretty much do no wrong. He is, if you need him at the top of the order in a T20 game, he can come out and give it a smash. If you need him to come and stabilise in a test match because we're 60 for 5, he'll do that and bat 2 sessions and go at a good run rate. If you need him to come and stabilise us when we lose 4 for 2 or something, he'll come in and do that. So honestly, he is just in the form of his life right now, and it's so nice to well, it's not nice to be 4-5 down, but it's nice that when you are 4-5 down, you've got Rizwan coming out, you've got Fahim coming out as well, and actually you can trust these players, and you think actually, yeah, we'll be okay here. And even with a bit of some silly shots and some odd decisions towards the end of the innings, even then, with Fahim at the crease, I thought we'd be okay. Even if it came down to because it was 3 off 2 and then 1 off 1, wasn't it? Even if it had gone to 3 off 1, I think I'd have backed Fahim to find a boundary because he seems like he's in really good form at the moment. And so it's good to have that faith in the lower order, and Rizwan just kind of epitomises that with his form right now. He's one of the first names on the team sheet. Literally, should be the first name on the team sheet opening, but that's another story.
I mean that no ball. I think it's Shoaib, I think, who just said it was quite funny. Yeah, that he knocks it onto his stumps, and he tries to take a single. And I think he actually said to the umpire, "Does a single actually count?" Because I crossed over. But yeah, he tried it in the book, and I think the next ball, Omar, after the no ball, the free hit, I thought he was going to really go after one. But what he actually did was watch the ball and just played a proper cricket shot. Just made sure that he connects with it, and I think that ball sort of sealed the game. What we thought it did until But and then the last over, Doc. I don't know if you've seen. Have you seen it in real time?
Oh, we lost him again.
Have you seen that in real time? The last over.
Pretty much, yeah. Go for
it. What was your reaction on Fahim's leave shot? At that point, I wanted to break my TV.
You mean the when he left the ball that was like this far away from off stump? Yeah, it was an odd decision, wasn't it? But to be fair, But you know what? Even then, I thought, okay, he's got this. But he knows he's one step ahead of all of us. Don't worry about that. So it was a calculated decision, I think, to lull South Africa into a full sense of security. Also, actually, I think, was it not the final ball? He could have left that final ball. It looked really wide, actually.
Yeah, but knowing the home umpires, it probably wouldn't have been.
Well, yeah, there you go. So he had to. Obviously, he did play it and managed to kind of squirt away for probably a boundary in the end. But yeah, no, it was a curious decision, I think, to leave that one. But like we say, like the comments are coming through from Hulkistan, Slam Hulk. This team, they just never do things the easy way, do they? Yeah.
No.
Usman says Abdullah for Fakhar. I think if you bring Abdullah in for Fakhar, it's then two same top four. Then we have to have a bit of that unpredictability even more in Fakhar, hoping he scores 50 off 20. But
guess
Abdullah
what? He's not in the squad. He's not in the squad, but he's in South Africa. A guy who named, with S, ends with L. Might be a bit bulky. Might be a bit bulky, but you know what? This is what modern cricket actually requires. It requires someone to, go out there and absolutely go after it. But let's talk Fakhar for a minute. Yeah, go on, Doc.
I was going to make a point actually to Umar, who's just dropped off for some reason. But Umar was saying, oh, here we go. Umar, you back with us, yeah?
I'm still here.
Fine. So, Umar, you were saying the other day that because I know I was talking about modern ODI cricket, okay? And you just go. No matter what, you lose wickets, you still go. And obviously you made the point that actually we don't have players that are good enough to do that. And you have to say today, when we were just trying to go at times towards the end when we didn't need to, we just got out. And you think, well, Ben Stokes can do it, and Just Buttler can do it, and Owen Morgan can do it, but we don't have Buttler, Stokes, and Morgan. So I see the point that the counterpoint that other people make about modern ODI cricket is that we don't necessarily have that many modern ODI players. So it's all right having the mentality, right? I'm going to hit every ball for six. That's a lovely mentality to have. But if you haven't got the skill or the ability to do it, it's gonna come undone, isn't it? So it's a really difficult balance of whether you kind of go for it and try and play modern ODI cricket, or whether you kind of stick to what you're good at.
See, I think just one of them. Like it's so frustrating, especially when we have got some players that maybe can reach that level. Maybe not right now, but in a few years' time. But then we keep persisting with Asif, Ali, and leaving Heather out, where Heather will probably do the same thing. We don't know. But we need to put him in that position where we're 5 down, where there's 90 to win, to see what it comes out of. Asif Ali's been doing the same thing for 5 years, yet we still keep picking him. We might as well bring Malik back while we're there. I hope Hulk's not watching.
So I've got a quick question for you guys. Imi, I'll ask you, since you're asking a lot of questions today. Would Hafiz get into this ODI team, just out of interest?
As a player, yeah, he would, yeah.
Okay. But we're not going to do that, are we?
I mean, like, why do we want to go to a 39-year-old when the World Cup is 2 years away? It's just going backwards.
No, I agree. It's just that it's somewhat saddening, if that's the word, that 2 years after the World Cup and 2 years, I think didn't he not announce his ODI retirement after that World Cup? Actually, in those 2 years, I don't really think, unless you want to count Head and Lily, who obviously still pretty unproven at the moment, I still feel like Hafiz could kind of walk back into this team, and that's a bit of an indictment on the players that have come in after him, that they've not stepped up. But I guess there's still a couple of years till the World Cup. There is still time. I think Head needs to be in this ODI team.
Yeah, 100%, without a doubt. That slot is there for him, 5 or 6, whichever one you want to put him in. He's there. I think we give Danish a run, give him these games against South Africa, the whole tour, the T20s, the 50 overs, and then the slightly easier. We're playing T20s against Zimbabwe, aren't we?
3.
Yeah, so give him that, give him the whole run, and then see how he gets on. Because Hush Dill's had a couple of years. Ifti's had his time. Another thing I was thinking is if Hussain Talat wasn't such a prat in them T20s, he would have been in this team as well. But okay, let's see what he does. But give Danish 6, 7, 8, 9 games and see how he does, and then we take it from there.
Yeah, especially with So Shaquille not around. So let's give Danish a proper go. Doesn't work, then So Shaquille is the next one in around, and we got to get the right combo together. So I don't know. Sorry guys, I cannot see your comments at all. So that's why I'm not actually ignoring. I can faintly read something.
I can see a few of these comments here. So I'll go through a couple of them if that's all right. So
yeah, go
Adam
on.
says we aren't good enough to be principal. Hafiz needs to play. I think in the T20s, obviously we've had that discussion, haven't we, of Hafiz missing the did Hafiz miss South Africa, didn't he, to play in the T10? He missed the T20 series in Pakistan against them. And obviously, I think a few of us said, well, actually, maybe he shouldn't get back into the team. But obviously, he's not. He's retired from ODI cricket, so I guess it's not so. We're not really talking really seriously about Hafiz being in the ODI team. It's just, I guess, hypothetically, he probably could still get into the team. Is what we're saying. And Shoaib says Talat would have been outdone by Shamsi. Talat struggled against Shamsi. Yeah, I don't know. Hassan Talat confuses me because he often looks good in some of the domestic stuff that I see him in. He's had flashes, isn't he, playing for Pakistan? But Omar, what do you, if it came down to, I mean, Suhaib Maqsood, are you a fan of his, Omar?
No.
Okay.
Next.
Moving on. Says, I am, by the way. I think he's decent, but anyway, that ship might have sailed. Hussein Talat is much better for ODI if they give him a chance. Yeah, well, this is weird because in New Zealand, I'm sure he was in the wrong squad every time in New Zealand.
He always has been.
Yeah.
He's always in the wrong squad.
He's always in the, yeah.
So he always seems to be in the T20 squad when I don't believe he's a T20 cricketer.
It's like the Abdullah, isn't it? When they played Abdullah in T20, but then later worked out he's a Test match and an ODI, a longer format player. It's nothing's ever straightforward with us, is it?
Mm-hmm. Just think about Danish Aziz, for example. Do you think that was just nerves today? Because he looked very, very, basically, he looked very edgy. The pace, the bounce, everything was fitting him. They worked it out so quickly.
Well, you'd hope it was just nerves, wouldn't it? Because like he's been doing so well in domestic cricket, even though he's pretty new on the scene, he's been doing so well. So you'd hope it was just nerves. But then the other thing is, the other guys that were in, like Barbaros on 100, and he seemed to ruffle him a bit. Then Rizwan came in and he Nokia beat him a few past the bat. He got him arm. So you can't. I don't think you can judge it after 5 or 6 balls. Like I said, give him 6, 7, 8, 9 games, and then take it from there.
Yeah, I mean there are different ways. There are different ways to come into the team, aren't there? I mean, you could be having a leisurely game against Zimbabwe, 200 for 2, and you come in against Muzarabani or whatever, and then you could come in at 200 for 3 with South Africa chirping and Nokia bowling 150k a year. So it wasn't the easiest kind of entry into the ODI game for him. So I wouldn't worry too much about Danish Aziz. Nokia is a blooming good bowler. We saw that in the Test series against us as well. In Pakistan, he troubled a lot of our batsmen. So yeah, I think give him a bit of time.
I can see Mad Max is saying, when is the World Cup? 2023 in India. So that's the next World Cup.
There was a comment from Shoaib about
Adam,
Ahmad Azam or Aga Salman. Go on, Imi. Go on, sorry, man.
No, I said,
yeah.
Adam is saying Amy could nicely slot into 4. I mean, I could slot into 4 people's clothes as well, but that's a different case. No, yeah, God.
Ahmad Azam or Aga Salman?
Aga Salman, I think. I'd rather go for neither, but
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Moving on. What were you going to say? Carry on.
Hulk agrees. He says give Danish more games. I think he'll get more games. I'd be really, really disappointed if he isn't given at least these 3. What team changes are you making for the next game then, if any? I mean, we've won, so some people would say don't change your winning team. I don't think that's true necessarily, but what do you reckon?
No, I don't either. I think Harish Rolf Hassan. I think that's like a no-brainer. And I think Asif Ali out, and either go the Nawaz route, which I mentioned earlier, or just go with the Hadrid route. They need to be more patient with Hadrid. You're gonna get them. You're gonna get them. Like, he's gonna have games where he's not gonna perform. But in a game like today, if he was at 5 and Danish was at 6, I think they see you home. Hadrid will see you home. It's a bit more about. He's got a platform to work around. I think he would have seen us home. Asif doesn't fill me any confidence, none whatsoever.
Omar, what about you?
Headed for Asif. Hassan for Rolf, maybe? I don't know. But then you got the thing of, I think they'll keep Danish for 2 reasons. Obviously, it was only 1 game, and also he does offer a little bit with the ball in them boring middle overs. Yeah. But the rest I'd keep the same. I think anyone for Asif, and maybe Nawaz, if not Nawaz, Hassan. Are we playing at the same ground?
No, I think next game, I think it goes Centurion, Wanderers, Centurion. I think so. I think it's Wanderers on Sunday because they're not far.
It's going to be a pink ball game. The pink test match, pink ODI.
Oh, the pink day. Okay.
Are you sure about that? I don't know. I wasn't aware of that, but if it is, I think we were the first team to beat them in that pink ODI.
I think the game at Wanderers is always the one.
It normally is.
Someone in the comments might know, but I got a feeling the Sunday Wanderers is normally the one. I don't think it makes much of an effect because there's no fans.
Yeah.
So I don't think it makes much of an effect, even charity wise. Omar Hamid saying, "Guess who's back?"
Oh, how long's the list?
No idea.
Hulk's asking how my heart rate is. The thing is, I'm fine, and then I keep thinking about what happened in the last 10, 15 overs, and then it keeps infuriating me. So I'm just trying to stay calm.
I know what you mean, because it's like in football when your team is like 3-0 up, and then you win 3-2. You think, all right, okay, yeah, great, we've got 3 points, but flipping hell,
what was the need?
Yeah, it didn't have to be that close, did it? And also because needing 3 off 2 is, I know with Fahim, I was confident. I did think we'd do it with Fahim, but teams have lost from needing 3 off 2 many times in the past, and that would have been an absolute travesty because I reckon we were on top in that game. I mean, it went nearly 100. Well, it did go 100 overs. We must have been on top in that game for what, 80, 85 overs, something like that. Apart from a little period, maybe obviously the middle of South Africa's innings where they never really got away from us. And then obviously the very end of our innings. Apart from that, we were pretty much always ahead in the game. So it would have been a bit of an undeserved defeat. Omar Hamid says, my friend said after 30 overs it'd be in the walk in the park. Omar, your friend's obviously never watched Pakistan play if he thinks it's going to be a walk in the park. It's never a walk in the park with Pakistan. Yes, typical.
As soon as Babar got out, there was a part of me thinking, okay. And as soon as we lost another couple, I was just like, I've seen this road so many times before.
Did we not talk in the test series about sometimes Babar coming back the next morning after when he's not out, and sometimes getting out quite cheaply? Or it might have been you that made the point. I can't remember. Or I'm sure we said about Babar. Sometimes he comes back the next morning and he's not quite flying. He gets out quite cheaply. And even today, obviously it was first ball after he got his 100. And it was a little bit of a loose shot, wasn't it? I know he's played a few of them in his innings, but yeah, you could imagine if we'd lost today, very wrongly, there would have been some people saying, "Oh, that's Babar's fault. He shouldn't have got out. He was the man who was in," which would have been a bit unfair, I guess.
Yeah, because I looked at the replay, and you just look at the shot, and it's just not Babar. There was no foot movement. He seemed very leg side of the ball, and even when he nicked it, it was felt like it was almost past him. So he was already through the shot, and then he nicked it. It just felt like he just lost all concentration. He was just like, "Yes, I've got 100," which is not like him, and it's really because up until then he always like he berates himself so much, especially since I don't know if anybody else has realized, especially after he's become captain, he's always like, "Ugh," which is sometimes people say it's bad and some say it's good, but and then it just didn't expect it. But another thing, just going back a little bit with Imam and Barber, the ones like even though we were started off really slow, the ones and twos they were taking, this rotation of strike, which we always struggle with, I think they did that really well today.
Yeah, they did. I thought Imam ran really well, actually, all the way through. I mean, he looks like he's quite a fit lad. So he was able to kind of keep up with keep the run rate going with his running. So no, that was impressive. And actually, we talk about Imam. I think he did get out in the end to a short ball, but he actually played a short ball quite well a few times. So yeah, there's definitely some positives, well, a lot of positives, and that partnership. They mentioned that those two put on 100 and something at the previous game with Centurion as well, didn't they? So they clearly like batting together. They run well. So yeah, no, happy days, lads.
Onwards and upwards. So my series prediction is still on, Doc.
You're right. I was thinking about that. Especially when we were 200 odd for one. I'm thinking, my God, this is a walk in the park. This is going to be 3-0, just like Umar said. Well, it still could be.
Surely we're favourites now as well, aren't we? Because knowing that South Africa are losing, 5 of the members that will play today, including the 3 seamers, the key and Miller, who scored runs today. Sure, we're favourites for the series.
Yeah, but you know what Doc said? Doc said in the other, we'll win the first 2 and then lose the last one.
We'll lose to that. We'll lose to their under 12s in the last game.
It's fine. No, I'll be watching.
Amy's top Why does like every comment that I could possibly just about read has my name in there?
There you go.
Oh, the show,
Amy, top commentator. Mom played Shamsi very well. Good to see.
Yeah.
I could just about read these. Barber should have done a helicopter shot. Barber, he lost concentration and he lost his wicket, but these things happen. He needs around about 150 runs in the next 2 games. Can't put it beyond him. It's not easy, but can't put it beyond him. And he becomes world number 1 ODI batsman. First time that Kohli would be dislodged if it happens since, I think, last 4 years.
Blimey.
Who cares?
Who cares? It's not an individual sport. I couldn't care less. But yeah, good for Barber.
And so that's that. Predictions, guys, for Sunday, Doc?
I'm done predicting.
I'm going to take a leaf out of Umar's book. He's obviously way ahead of the curve on this one. So he went for 3-0. So we're going to win on Sunday. If we can, the only thing I would say is that I don't think the South African top order will be quite as bad as they were today. I don't think so. They're all better players than what they look like today. So I don't think they'll be that bad. They'll come out with a bit of a point to prove that if there is a ground in South Africa where we might get exposed because it absolutely flies, it will be at altitude in Johannesburg, although we won there last time. So it will be a challenge on Sunday. But look, our bowlers won't mind that. Hasnain was decent. Hasnain was bowling with decent pace. Haris Raf's pace was right up today. Shame it was 90 miles per hour down the leg side. But yeah, we might enjoy those conditions as well.
Right. Almost said he's done. I've read another comment which says, Amy reminds me of my Chloe. You know what? I'm done with this place. out of all people, you know, as a United fan, I don't want to be associated with him. Omar, as a Liverpool fan, doesn't want to be associated with him.
You can keep him, have him.
The guy is one of them. No one wants him. No one wants him. You know, it's just like, he scored that goal, that won us the league, but that's about it.
Hulk says bat first, score 350. Modern day cricket.
Hulk knows the score. That's where it's at.
Hashtag modern day cricket.
Yeah, but today, I saw on social media a lot of people were complaining about this modern day cricket, saying that Barber said we're going to play modern day cricket, and where is this? You've got to still look at the surface and then play against that. And this wasn't a 350 pitch. In fact, it wasn't par about 230.
So what they were saying is normally past 230 in the last 6 games is 180 score. So they don't, 9 teams chasing normally wins. In the last 15, 9 win chasing and 6 win batting first. Well, 10 win chasing now. So
yeah, so I mean,
if we were batting first, at that rate, our second wicket fell at. So I'm just going to check. So we were 186 in 31 overs. That's basically a run of ball. So we had 20 overs. If we were batting first, that is the kind of platform that you do make 330, 340 on, to be fair. So if you don't lose 4 for 10 in a minute, so that maybe slightly would change things. But yeah, no, I think all in all, I think we can be satisfied with the win today. Sometimes it's good if you don't absolutely smash the first game and you think you've done it and you're everything. So maybe it would just be that little sting in the tail at the end of the game will just remind them that that it's never easy at the top level. It's never easy when you go to South Africa, and you've got to concentrate to the very, very end. So hopefully some lessons even in victory, and inshallah we make it 2-0 on Sunday.
Yeah, so that's that. We're going to be back on Sunday again about the same time with another review of the game on Sunday. Hopefully another victory and a wrap-up of the series. Thank you, Doc, for joining us, and that was last minute, so I really appreciate it.
You guys, thank you.
And thank you, Umar, for joining us. And we know it's Maghrib time in Birmingham because you're... Oh, there he is. It got darker and darker and darker as he was speaking. So thank you for joining me as well. We'll be back on Sunday. Hopefully Pakistan get another win and wrap up the series, and then we can test a couple of people on the bench as well for the last game. So that's that. Thank you everyone for being in the comments. Sorry I lost connection, and for some reason I cannot see the comments anymore. That's why I put them on the screen, but they're very faint. And that's that. So again, thank you to everyone, and as always, Pakistan.